Hello YouTube, it's Lisa, and I wanted to do a video for you guys today concerning the things that I do to keep motivated with my fitness routines. I get people asking me all the time, what do you do to stay motivated? How do you keep the drive after so long? So I'm just here to give you some of the things that I have done to keep myself motivated moving forward in fitness instead of getting bored and plateauing and phasing it out. So these are just the things that have worked for me. Just because they've worked for me doesn't necessarily mean that they'll work for you. It's a lot of trial and error, so you have to try things out, see what works for you, see what doesn't. But these are some of the things that I've stumbled upon along the way and have worked great for me. And now we're heading into year 2 of my fitness plan, and I keep getting results, and I'm excited about where everything is going. So I'm here to share this with you. So I would have to say the first thing that I really suggest whenever you're getting into fitness is getting a fitness buddy or a team. The reason why I say this is because it is really easy if you're doing it by yourself to lose momentum because there's nobody to push you. You don't have people to share your struggles with, your successes, your failures. There's nobody to share in this with. When I first got into fitness, I was kind of doing it solo, so I didn't really have people to connect with and be like, hey, this was my workout today. I really struggled with this part, but I really liked this part, or I have trouble with this move. What can I do to make it easier so I can keep going? So I really struggled in the beginning. Once I found a workout partner who then introduced me to a workout team, my success went through the roof, because at that point I was surrounded with a group of people who were doing what I was doing and knew how I felt to struggle, to be sore all the time, to fight with learning how to eat well, and we were able to connect and talk to each other and help each other through everything. And what I really like about this is whenever you connect with these people, the majority of them are going to be just like you. They're people who have never done fitness before, or just learning how to do it or getting into it. Or even you'll have a mix in the group, somebody who has been doing fitness for a while can throw pointers to all the newbies out there. So this really helped. This was my first big kick of motivation that I found in the fitness world, and it really helped me. So number 1 tip, find a friend, find a team, work together. After that, I would really have to say measurements and photos. Now these are things that everybody's just like, oh, I don't want before photos. Trust me, nobody wants before photos. Every time I start a new phase in my workout, like chapters or my book, whatever you want to call it, I always take before photos. So I have a series of before photos, because everything you do, you know, you start from a new point and work toward a new end. So I have tons of before photos. I never like taking them, even though they look so much better than my actual day 1 photo. But I mean, these are things that nobody likes to do. The reason why I say photos and measurements is because I found these the biggest motivator I've ever used for myself. I suggest these all the time to the people I work with in fitness, because the scale can be so deceiving. I always honestly tell people to stay away from the scale, because if you look at photos, if you take photos regularly, I usually suggest every 2 weeks to every 4 weeks, and then compare them, because as you see small changes in these photos, it's going to be motivation to push yourself to push even harder in the next few weeks so you can see even more progress. When I first started, I did bi-weekly photos. So every other Saturday I took a photo and then I would put them side by side. And every 2 weeks, even small changes, I could see them, which means, well, if I made that much progress in only 2 weeks, if I push myself just a little bit more, the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna have even more improvement. So photos are huge, because I still use them all the time now, because it is a huge motivator, because just seeing a little bit of change is really gonna help push you. Because if you take a photo on day 1 and a photo on like day 90, you're not going to have that huge push. You're going to be like, oh, well, there was a change, but you realize if you do it every 2 weeks, you're going to have more of a push, and you're going to have a dramatic change from day 1 to day 90. So I also say measurements. Again, we go back to the scale. Scales can lie. As you lose weight, you're gaining muscle when you're exercising. Muscle weighs more than fat. So as you lose the fat, you're gaining muscle. So you might actually see a weight increase, but it doesn't mean that you're gaining weight. You can still be losing it. Whenever I say take your measurements, it's because this is what's going to tell you how you're losing. Like, let's say that in a month's time, you only lose 2 pounds, and you're like, oh my goodness, I only lost 2 pounds, but I went down a pant size. That's because you lost 2 pounds, but you might have gained 4 pounds of muscle. You can lose 2 inches on your waist, 1 inch on your hips, 1 inch around your chest, but have only lost 2 pounds because you gained the muscle. So measurements and photos are huge. They're great motivators to show you the progress that you are making. So buddies, teams, photos, measurements. What else? Notebooks. This might sound ridiculous, but write everything down. Another reason why I love doing this, and I fell into this super late into like my fitness scene thing, is write everything down. This has been a huge motivator, especially now that I'm really, really into weight training, is I write down everything. I write down the day that I do them, the date, what I'm exercising, and like what I'm doing, where am I doing it, all these kind of things. Because if I put down that I did weighted dumbbell flies and today I did 3 sets of 20 at 15 pounds. Okay, might not seem like much now, but whenever I come back to the workout next week, I can look and be like, okay, well, I struggled with my 3rd set whenever I hit, you know, my 3rd rep. Or be like, okay, well, I wrote a note that I was struggling, so I need to go down in weight. I wrote a note that it was too easy, so I need to go up in weight. This is going to help you progress as you go. And this doesn't pertain just to weight training. This is with your home workout programs. This is with running. This is with swimming, biking, whatever you do. Write down what you do and how you felt doing it. Did you struggle? Did you do well? Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? If it was a bad day, why? Did you eat poorly? Were you busy? Were you distracted? If you write down all these little things, as you go back and read through all of your notes, you're going to see what works, what doesn't, and how you can use those things to progress to make yourself better as you move forward. So I always suggest notebooks. I mean, you can get them for 50 cents at the dollar store. It is a super, super simple and effective way to track your exercise and your progress to see what works best for you. So I really suggest notebooks. Love them. Another thing is heart rate monitors. The reason why I say this is because when you first get into fitness, we're not exactly sure how our body works and how we're burning calories. So wearing a heart rate monitor is going to teach you how to monitor your heart rate, what is a safe zone to keep your heart rate in, what is the max zone you can have your heart rate in to burn the most, and then obviously what you're going to burn during your workout. When I first started, I had the regular heart rate monitor with the chest strap that goes around your chest, and you just wear the watch. It tells me what my heart rate is all the time, and it shows me live feedback of how much I'm burning. It worked great for me. I had no problems with it. I had a cheap monitor. If you've watched my other videos, it was a Pile monitor, and it was like 30 or 40 bucks, and I honestly never had a problem with it. I wore it all the time when I ran. I wore it with my workouts, everything. Loved it. As I got more aggressive into my workout scene, I wanted to know more about what my body was doing as I worked out. So I upgraded to Body Media. If you guys want a full report on what this thing is, I will do a complete video on it if you would like. But I wear it now. It is an armband that I wear around my arm. It is, again, it's called a Body Media armband. And you wear it all the time. And what this baby does is it measures so much more than just your calorie burn. It shows you your calorie burn, but it tells you like your skin temperature and how hard your muscles are working and your metabolic rate and your sleep patterns, and you can track your food and I mean, how hard you're working, like whenever you're jumping, when you're doing plyo stuff. It reads all of that and puts it into this nice, beautiful little chart that you can read easily, and it just tells you so much more than a heart rate monitor can. Because I realized whenever I first got this, I wore it with my chest strap heart rate monitor just to compare. And sometimes, yes, my chest strap would have a higher calorie burn, but then I would compare it to the results from my Body Media. And even though my numbers would be lower, I can now see why. It's because my body is working differently. And just because your heart is beating faster doesn't mean you're burning more calories necessarily. So I really, really like it because it just tells you so much more about the mechanics of your body and how it's being used throughout the day. So I really, really like this tool. It's really cool. And there's tons of things on the market now as far as calorie counters and whatnot. But this is just what I found that I really like. The things that you wear around your wrist, like the jawbone up, and Fitbit and stuff. I'm not knocking them, but I'm not 100% in love with them, especially like the Fuel Band by Nike, because it's more like a glorified pedometer. Not in love. But if you guys have questions about that kind of stuff, let me know. But those are my immediate few little tidbits of information, things that worked for me that might work for you. So if you have any more questions, just let me know, reach out to me, and we'll do another video. But these are the things that you can help, you know, get into now to increase your motivation and keep you moving forward in your progress. So if you have any questions, let me know. But for now, this is Lisa. We'll talk to you later.